Hey, and welcome back to the Friday Five. It has been a crazy week. For those of you that are friends with me or follow me on social media, you're probably aware because I've been posting like crazy that my mom has been stuck in Jamaica with her husband on their honeymoon for, the past week or so since Hurricane Melissa hit. Wow. Crazy. I can't wait to hear the stories when she comes back. I have talked to her a handful of times, but only got so much info. They are hoping to be flying out on Sunday morning via American Airlines out of Montego Bay, which they just announced the airport is reopening tomorrow at 7 a.m. So crazy. We will circle back to that at the end. So a little teaser for my thought of the week. But let's start where we always start with mortgage rates, national averages for Mortgage News Daily. VA 30-year fixed 6.03%, FHA 30-year fixed 6.01%. Conventional 30-year fixed 6.28%, conventional 15-year fixed 5.81%, and conventional 7-year ARM 5.89%. Rates are a little bit worse than they were last week. Even though the Fed cut 0.25% on, the days always run together. I think it was Wednesday. After the Fed cut 0.25%, Powell got up, started speaking, and made some comment as to the fact that the 0.25% cut that many are anticipating for December is not a guarantee, and it possibly might not happen, and then the rates got worse. So another indication, Fed rate cuts does not equal lower mortgage rates automatically. In this case, mortgage rates went up after the cut. Number two, how is other income handled on a mortgage application? So this would be income from bonus, commission, overtime, tips. So on conventional loans and FHA loans, the guidelines state that the borrower should have received that type of income for at least 2 years, but then it kind of gives a caveat that says they could have received it for a minimum of 12 months of history as long as it's been stable, consistent, and is likely to continue. That other type of income should be averaged over the time period that it has been earned, ideally 2 years, but exceptions down to 12 months. Also, if a mortgage applicant has changed jobs recently, that doesn't automatically mean that we can't use bonus or commission or overtime income. It just means we need to show that they were earning that type of income at the previous employer, that they now are earning it at the new employer, that there is some stability to it, and that, again, it's likely to continue. So there's a lot of nuance when it comes to these types of incomes, but big picture, you can usually use bonus, commission, and or overtime income to qualify if it's been received for 12 months at least and is likely to continue. Number three, this is the income edition. So another question about income, can I use secondary or part-time income to help me qualify for a mortgage? And the answer is, like everything in life, it depends. On a conventional loan, the guidelines say the applicant should have received part-time or secondary income with a minimum history of an uninterrupted 2 years. But then the guidelines do allow for a shorter time period down to 12 months as long as there are other positive factors to the loan application, which would be good credit scores, lower loan-to-value ratios, reserve assets, etc. For FHA, a minimum of 2 years of part-time earnings or secondary earnings are required. There's no exception for less than 2 years. You have to have 2 years of it. So in both instances, the income is going to be averaged over the time period that it was earned, so 2 years for FHA and then maybe down to 12 months for conventional. Number four, one of the originators here in our office, Danny, came in. We were talking about a customer who's interested in buying a manufactured home on 8 acres up in Slatington. So, got me thinking I should talk about manufactured homes a little bit. It is definitely more complicated, and there are definitely more requirements for a manufactured home than a stick-built home. And let's start with right out of the gate, we can't finance with a mortgage a manufactured home that's on leased land because it's not really real estate, it's really an RV on a leased site. So this manufactured home that we would finance would be a manufactured home that's on a parcel of land that's taxed as real estate. So first requirement, for FHA loans, a foundation certification is going to be required. That's not always needed for conventional, but it is for FHA. Additionally, when a manufactured home is first purchased, there's typically a title issued, almost like you would get for a vehicle or if you bought an RV. That title must be retired with the DMV, so the manufactured home cannot be moved, and so it then becomes considered real estate once it's put on a parcel of land. Lastly, when a manufactured home is constructed, there are HUD plates affixed to the inside or maybe the outside of the manufactured home somewhere. That HUD plate certifies that the home was built to meet federal standards when it was constructed. And for FHA loans, that HUD plate has to still be visible. So it couldn't have been pulled off or painted over or drywalled over. It has to be visible. And there are other requirements too for a manufactured home depending on the property. Definitely a little bit more complicated. Also, there's usually a rate add-on for a conventional loan for a manufactured home. So if you're interested in buying a manufactured home, or if you're a real estate agent and you're listing a manufactured home, do not call it a modular, because it's not. And make sure the lender is aware if it's a manufactured home. Otherwise, you're just kicking the can down the road, and there's probably going to be problems that come up later once the appraisal is done and everyone finds out it's a manufactured home. Number 5, I'm going to circle back to how I started this, talking about my mom in Jamaica. And it got me thinking again about how conditions and situation really affect your actions and, in a business world or sports world, performance. In most cases, if someone got stuck in Jamaica, in Montego Bay, with the blue water and the white sand beaches and the 85-degree temp, you would be like, oh, that kind of stinks that I'm stuck here for a couple extra days, but I'm stuck here for an extra couple days. And in this case, obviously, my mom is very eager, and Jay, her husband, are very eager to get back home to Myrtle Beach where they live. And it's just another instance of how situation and conditions of your situation really affect your actions and how you feel about something. So I don't know that there's any profound point there, but just got me thinking about, normally you would love to stay there, and in this case, they can't wait to get home. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If I can help you in any way, please reach out. Have a great Halloween night and weekend.